everyone, we are
Raúl García Oviedo
and Jimena and today we are going to present our essence project of biology and geology about earthquakes.
Since in 1568 in Lima was recorded the first earthquake in history, the ways for detecting earthquakes has been evolving through all history of humanity.
In the beginning, the people didn't know how is these earthquakes or how is these seismic movements, but thanks to the advances in technology and thanks of this project, you are going to discover this.
We are going to talk about everything about earthquakes. First, we are going to talk about how earthquakes are produced. Then you are going to discover different types of seismic waves that a seismograph can record. Also, we are going to talk about the intensity of these earthquakes, an interesting process that occurs during some earthquakes, liquefaction, and also we have done an experiment talking about these earthquakes. So it's very interesting. I hope you have learned lots of things. You are going to learn lots of things.
First of all, I would like to start by saying how earthquakes are produced. Earthquakes are produced when two broken pieces of the earth slip past one another along a fault, because the lithosphere is divided into tectonic plates. These tectonic plates are moving all the time, and when one tectonic plate is stuck into another, due to pressure, the rocks breaks, and this release of energy are the seismic waves that are the earthquakes.
As Jimena has explained in the last slide, seismic waves are produced due to the broken of rocks and also explosions or earthquakes. There are different types of seismic waves we are going to learn. First of all, we are going to talk about the internal waves, that are the waves that occurs inside the earth, that can be divided between primary waves and secondary waves. And then we have external waves, also called surface waves. The name says, are the waves that go through on the crust, the surface of the earth. There are going to be log waves and regolith waves. First one, I'm going to talk about body waves, that are the waves that pass through on all the Earth's interior. As I said before, we have P waves, called primary waves, because they arrive the first, and secondary waves, because they arrive later than P waves. P waves, as they arrive the first, they are the fastest, and the secondary waves are the slowest. Things to have into account. Substances they travel through. Primary waves travel through all types of substances, but secondary waves don't. Secondary waves only travel through solids, not liquids. And also to take into account the movement and what they do with the particles. Here you can see two different videos, one talking about P waves, the first one, and the second one talking about secondary waves. As you see in this video, the P wave make terrestrial particles move in the same direction as the wave, while the secondary waves, the movement they provoke is to move the particles perpendicularly to the wave. Also, surface waves, as I said before, are the waves that travel through the Earth's crust, through the Earth's surface. We have log waves, named by a British mathematician, and also regolith waves, called named for a lord in England. Also, as in the last law, the P and S waves, the log waves are the fastest in the surface, while the regolith waves are slower. Also, the substances and where they travel through. Log waves travel only through the crust, but regolith waves only travel through lakes and oceans. The movement they provoke, as you see here in these other two different videos. The first one, log waves produce entirely horizontal motion, while regolith waves, what they do is to move up and down, side to side, the particles of the crust. So, to sum up, body waves can be divided between P waves, primary waves, and secondary waves, while surface or external waves can be divided between log waves, travel through all the other crust, or regolith waves that only travel through lakes and oceans.
Let's continue with the difference between the hypocenter and the epicenter. The hypocenter is the actual point in the Earth's crust where the earthquake is produced, and the epicenter is the point on the Earth's surface above the hypocenter. The epicenter, we can find the two-dimensional seismic waves. However, the hypocenter, we can find the three types of seismic waves, and it's the actual source of seismic waves. We can see the difference between the associated waves in each part. In the epicenter, we can find the body waves that are S and P, and the surface waves that are low and Rayleigh. And the hypocenter, we can find the body waves that are the P and S that my partner has explained you very good in the last slideshow.
How can we detect seismic waves? It's very good to know what is an earthquake or what are the different types of seismic waves, but the most important thing is how can you detect an earthquake? To be safe, of course, if you are next to an earthquake. Earthquakes are recorded thanks to very sensible detectors called seismograph, which records the different types of seismic waves, as you can see here in the first photo. As you can see here, the different types of waves I explained in the last slides. As you can see, body waves are very small because they are inside the Earth's interior, while surface waves that are stronger because they travel through the surface, and these detectors are on the surface. What we have done in the experiment, we have created a code thanks to microbit which has recorded all the seismic waves, and we have done like a seismograph thanks to the code. Seismographs, as you can see here, record like a zigzag trade that shows the varying amplitude of different waves, and as I explained you in the last slide, you can distinguish very well between body waves and surface waves. And how can we distinguish between S and P waves in a seismograph? This was also a part of the experiment, a very difficult part and also a very interesting part. As you can see here, the primary waves are the first ones to arrive, while the secondary waves are the second ones to arrive. This is if you have a seismograph, but also you have to take into account that is there any oceanic surface or any water surface, secondary waves are not going to arrive.
And now let's explain the difference between magnitude and intensity. As you can see in this photo, magnitude is a number that allows us to compare the earthquakes between each other. However, the intensities are ranking based on the natural phenomena and natural disasters that the earthquakes cause. The magnitude is determined through seismographs. However, the intensity is determined from the effects of people, structures, natural environment, etc. On the one hand, the magnitude is the energy released on the source of the energy. On the other, the intensity is the strength of shaking. We can measure the magnitude with the Richter scale, as you can see in this photo, and the intensity with the modified Mercalli intensity scale, as you can see in that photo.
The intensity of the earthquake is very interesting, and also this special phenomena, which is liquefaction. Liquefaction. What is liquefaction? It's a very interesting process that happens in some earthquakes. When the crust or the earth moves, they move also the sediments that are next to or near or at the ground. This movement provokes such a change in the solid state of these materials, making it, as you can see, making it to have a low strength, and making some buildings, for example, to collapse, as you can see here in Niigata in Japan. Liquefaction is very, very dangerous because it can make some buildings collapse and other structures, and can have a major devastation.
Apart from the question that we have just answered, we have to do in this project two experiments. One given one of a fault and other of a seismograph with a microchip. To carry out these two experiments, we need these materials: scissors, tape, plates, radar, micro USBs, and the plates given by our teacher to build the fold. Here you have some photos, as you can see, of the process of our template or fold.
As I said before, we have done a code for recording the seismic waves. Here you have a video of this is the seismograph we have done with Microbit, and how the program and how us have recorded the different types of seismic waves. Some slides before this, I showed you also this one, but better in the seismograph slide. This is our bibliography. I hope you have